Caucus condemning the recent wave of immigration raids across our state and the country. The caucus is a bipartisan group of state lawmakers whose districts cover the Bay Area. In a statement this month, they shared in part, quote, peaceful protesters, immigrant families, and entire communities are being targeted in a campaign rooted not in national security, but in fear, control, and scapegoating. This is cruel, it is cowardly, and it is fundamentally un-American. We will not allow them to be vilified, terrorized, or erased. Caucus Chair Senator Josh Becker of Menlo Park joins us live this morning to share more. Good morning to you.
Morning to you.
Wow, so much going on in the world right now, and of course some pretty strong words from the caucus this morning as well. You're calling the recent actions by the Trump administration a campaign of fear targeting immigrant communities. Walk us through the specific incidents that have triggered this response.
Yeah, sure. First of all, thanks for covering my work last year. We tried to warn people about the last time we tried a mass deportation in this country in the 1930s. Deported almost 2 million Mexican and Mexican Americans. It was a moral disaster, an economic disaster then, and that's what's going to happen again. And we're already seeing it. Number one, we saw what's happening in LA, but there are raids happening across the Bay Area. Just had a Guatemalan immigrant in my district, family, kids 9 and 11. He was taken. They don't know where he is. And the family just got evicted. What's going to happen to those kids now?
Wow. Okay. Because I wanted to ask you, what are you hearing from constituents in your area? And it sounds like they're coming directly to you and they're sharing stories of fear. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing that came out, the Bay Area Council did a economic impact analysis that I'm sure we'll discuss. $275 billion hit if we have a mass deportation to hit to California. But what's really coming out is just the everyday stories. But 50% of the undocumented immigrants, of the 2.3 million undocumented immigrants, 50% have been here longer than 20 years. So these are people rooted in our communities. These are essential workers. These are people with families. And that's who's being targeted.
Do you think that the Trump administration is making any distinction between those who are actually, say, accused of violent crime versus those who have simply come here and are undocumented?
That's a great point, because that's what they said, right? They said, oh, we're going to go after criminals. But no, that's not what's happening. They're picking up people on their way to ICE hearings, people who are voluntarily doing what they were told to show up these hearings and then are being picked up. And so it's just become just picking up anyone. And that's what happened in Los Angeles. They're picking up day laborers, a seamstress. Like my grandmother was, came to this country. She was a seamstress. They're picking up people like that. My grandfather came. He was a small business owner. They're picking up people like that. It's really indiscriminate. And that's what's so painful because, a few years ago, these were considered essential workers. It's a third of our construction workforce, a third of our home and healthcare workforce, taking care of the elderly, taking care of children. That's who is being targeted, hardworking people.
Now, what actions can the caucus realistically take to push back, whether it's legally or legislatively, against the federal government's actions here?
Yeah, we're doing three things. Number one, organizing. Number two, coordinating across the Bay Area. As you mentioned, we have 27 Bay Area legislators in the Bay Area caucus. And then number three is the legislation itself, right? So $25 million for legal aid organizations who can support immigrants, trying to keep ICE out of schools and hospitals. I have my own bill around data, all these data brokers. We have to make them identify, are they collecting information about immigration status? And we'll keep coming up with more legislation every day. So Liz Ortega, who's part of our caucus, vice chair of the Latino caucus, has a bill around workers. So we're working on legislation right now.
Now, walk us through also the role that local law enforcement is playing with all this. Are they cooperating with federal authorities on this?
Yeah, in most Bay Area cities, they're not. They're right, and they're saying, we have these policies to not coordinate. But what we're seeing is that the ICE agents, many cases, they're in plain clothes. Other times, they're masks. And we really it's created this atmosphere of chaos. So like Trump's raids are not keeping us safer. Instead, they're actually inflicting fear in these communities. So you people not wanting to go to school, not wanting to show up for their appointments, not wanting to show up financial aid forms, right? And in many cases, as we said, 50% of people have been here, undocumented people have been here 20 years or longer. They have families. What's going to happen to those families? They're scared for their parents. So that's what we're seeing across the Bay Area.
I want to also ask you about a recent incident involving Senator Alex Padilla. He was seen on video He entered a press conference with the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, and he was handcuffed. He was seen on that video getting taken out by leaving the room with being handcuffed. So I want to get your reaction from the caucus, your reaction to that video.
I think we were all just completely floored by that. He's known as a gentle giant. He's literally the nicest people in the world. They said he was lunging. The clear video shows he clearly was not. And I think, as our governor said, if they can handcuff him and throw him to the ground, what are they going to do, to the rest of us? So that, a lot of us know he was in the state Senate. A lot of people know him personally, and that was just like, they just keep pushing the envelope and pushing the envelope, and that was just really painful for all of us to see.
Do you have a message for immigrant communities in California who may be feeling targeted or attacked at this time?
Absolutely. The caucus is behind you. We support the hardworking people of the state. We know that you're just trying to work and make a living and live the American dream for you and your families, and we're here to support you. We have a briefing on Tuesday for the whole caucus, talking about how we can make sure that people have their due process rights. And please contact my office, any of our offices. We're here to try to support you.
Are there any specific resources people can turn to at this time as well for support?
Really, the legal aid organizations across the Bay Area, so we'll have a list of them on my website, but those are the ones that we just need to get people access to attorneys right now.
All right, Senator Josh Becker of Menlo Park, thank you so much for your time and your work.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we'll be right back.